65 million years ago, a mass extinction event occurred, wiping out more than 75% of all species on Earth. There have only been 5 mass extinctions in our planet's 4.5 billion year history, but the next one has already started. By the end of this century, 1 in 6 species on Earth could be gone. Will humans go with them? How could we survive a 6th mass extinction? How could we prevent one? This is What If, and here's what would happen if we set aside half our planet for wildlife. The reason we're all still alive on this planet is thanks to biodiversity. From the tallest trees to the biggest animals, to the weirdest plants, to the grossest fungi, to the buzziest bugs, and even the creatures you can't see. We all rely on each other to make life on Earth possible. And our world would be harmonious, except that humans are unreliable. Thanks to our unstable practices, the world's wildlife is inching towards an extinction rate that's 10,000 times faster than what's considered to be natural. Without taking drastic action, we might be facing extinction ourselves. But how far are we willing to go? Pulitzer Prize-winning author and biologist E.O. Wilson came up with what is now known as the half-Earth idea. It involves making half the planet a human-free zone, leaving nature to do what it can to stabilize itself. This means that the current global population of roughly 7.7 billion people would have to make do with half the space we currently have. And for a lot of people, that's just not feasible. Cordoning off half the world for extreme conservation would displace roughly 1 billion everywhere. Land surface and 75% of its freshwater resources are used for crop and livestock production. Yet at least 10%, making the forest and fuel industries could collapse because there'd be less land to work with. This would leave millions of people out of work. But the losses might be recouped in the form of new opportunities in more sustainable fields. In fact, setting aside half the planet for environmental protection wouldn't be a total financial disaster. $577 billion in annual global crops are currently at risk due to pollinator loss, while roughly 40% of the world's economy as a whole relies on biological resources. If we continue down the path we're on, we risk depleting the bee population in its entirety, as well as other biological resources we depend on. But by protecting them, their declining numbers may have the opportunity to regenerate, so that we can continue to benefit from their output in a sustainable way. Of course, it's not just about the money. The fact is that the more biodiverse an ecosystem is, the healthier it is. A healthy ecosystem can clean water, help to purify the air we breathe, regulate the climate,